the need to learn from history, to reflect back on where we've come from as a civilization, and to reflect out into the future so that the words "never again" continue to resonate are very important to us. We're seeing rising rates of anti-Semitism. We're seeing consistently high rates of racism and bigotry in the United States and across the world. This Holocaust Learning Center that we're sitting in, programs such as March of the Living, the many other Holocaust centers located in South Florida are as timely now, if not more timely than ever. The March of the Living program is a program that began in 1988. It was the idea that we needed to tell the story to another generation of kids. If we didn't keep telling it, we were going to lose the story. And by the same token, we wanted to tell a story that spoke of both preventing genocide and also the rebirth, in effect, of the Jewish people and what it was like to go through a process that began with the Holocaust but had a trip that then went on to Israel and talked about what it is to have a vibrant state in a new land.
One of the very, very important events that take place while we're in Poland is the actual March of the Living. It's sort of reminiscent of the death marches that the survivors had to take at that time. And we walk from Auschwitz to Birkenau. There's nothing more extraordinary than seeing a survivor go into one of the places that perhaps they never dreamed that they would go back to say to the teens, you can come in here, we get to walk out. You know, too often we look to the survivors as frail human beings, and the teens are so worried about them. But in the end, while we're on the march, the survivors are the ones that are there for us. They give us the strength to continue on. Unfortunately, this is the third year we have not had a march. The first 2 years because of the COVID pandemic, and this year because of the unrest in the area with Ukraine. It was difficult. We tried during those past 3 years to continue to put forth information about Poland, about the march, its activities, and survivor stories.
The Nazis were strafing and strafing and strafing. They were trying to kill everybody around. Does that sound familiar to you? What's happening in Ukraine now? Same tactics. Same tactics. You want to know my life story? Look at these kids in the Ukraine. It's the same thing. We didn't learn our lessons.
Hearing any survivor stories is very important. I've heard stories going to this school from 6th grade until now, my senior year. So hearing stories is very important. You want to be a witness to what has happened, and you want to be able to pass this down to future generations because there are only a certain amount of survivors left.
Over the years, we stay in touch with our alumni, and we've seen that the march has made an impact on their lives. Many of them have gone into Jewish communal service because they felt the march helped them increase their Jewish identity and gave them a special affinity for Jewish organizations, for what they stand for. In addition, we find that many chose their families based on the march and the impact it had, and are teaching their children, sending them to Jewish day schools, to Jewish preschools, to encourage their increased Jewish identity as well. We had some alumni with us today who love to share their memories of the march, and that to me says that the march made a tremendous impact on their lives, that 33, 25, 20 years ago, they still today remember their experiences.
It's been 22 years since I went on March of the Living, and it lives with you, it stays with you every day of your life. And when I first got back, I actually spoke about it a lot at different events through March of the Living, through my synagogue. When I went to college, I did some speaking on it as well, just encouraging other people to actually go on the trip. I think it's very important, especially as survivors are no longer going to be with us as time goes on. It's really important to go with them and see their emotion and live it with them. Having kids of my own now who are young, it's important for them that as they grow and become aware of what happened so many years ago, to just share with them my stories and my pictures, because we won't have survivors to do that. So it's really important for us to show our kids and eventually my grandkids what our family went through for them to have the life that they have now.
I have committed my entire career to the Jewish nonprofit world for the past 30 some years. Is it because of the March of the Living? I don't know, but it most certainly has a great push for me to motivate others to do their best to move the world forward. And if this trip can send you on an emotional, bit of an emotional roller coaster where you can then come back, share your story, and it moves or perks emotions into somebody else's world, then yeah, that's how we move the world forward. One person at a time, one story at a time.
Jews don't own the subject of the Holocaust or genocide. We experienced it. We look forward to the partnerships with good people of all faiths and all backgrounds to say, here's something that my people happen to go through, but your people aren't immune from it. And we need to be working together and building collaborations and partnerships with every community that there is to say, let's move forward. Let's tell the stories of the Jewish Holocaust. Let's tell the stories of other genocides that have taken place in Africa and Asia, other parts of the world. Let's tell those stories together so that we're not only preventing anti-Semitism, but we're preventing any genocide and reducing bigotry and hatred everywhere in our world.